Chosen one, there was a time you cried in silence, when your pillow carried the weight of your pain, and your soul whispered prayers no one else could hear. But while you were breaking in private, they were laughing in public. They thought your tears meant defeat. They didn't realize those tears were sacred oil, anointing you for your divine rise. Let me tell you a story. In 1914, Thomas Edison's laboratory caught fire. Decades of work, gone in one night. His life's creations turned to ash. When his son found him watching the flames, he expected despair. Instead, Edison said, "Go get your mother. She'll never see a fire like this again." By the next morning, Edison was rebuilding. And within weeks, he released one of his greatest inventions. The world mocked his loss, but God turned the ashes into glory. They mocked your breakdowns, the nights you couldn't hold yourself together. They gossiped about your struggles like entertainment, forgetting that pain is the seed of transformation. They laughed as you went silent, thinking you had given up. But in that silence, heaven was preparing your roar. Every tear was a divine transaction. Every sob was sowing something eternal. Now you walk in joy that doesn't depend on circumstances, and they're confused. They don't understand how someone who cried so much can now shine so bright. While they trusted in money, image, and manipulation, you trusted in something unseen. They called you too deep, too spiritual, too serious. Yet, when their plans crumbled, yours bloomed. Because you didn't build your joy on attention, you built it on revelation. God was training you in stillness while they were chasing validation. And now your joy has no strings attached. It's not performative, it's divine. That's why they envy it, because they can't fake what you found. They cheered when you lost that job, that relationship, that opportunity. They whispered, "See, they weren't that special." But God was rewriting your story in invisible ink. What they called the end was just your preparation phase. They thought they buried you, but you were a seed. Now, the same people who mocked your tears scroll through your success in silence, wondering how you did it. But you know the truth. You didn't do it. God did. They played with your kindness, took your empathy as weakness, tried to make you question your worth. But chosen one, the pain didn't destroy you, it purified you. Every betrayal sharpened your discernment. Every heartbreak deepened your compassion. You no longer react, you discern. You no longer beg, you attract. That's why your peace intimidates them now, because they can't control what's been healed by heaven. They forgot one thing: the chosen never stay down. Every time they counted you out, you rose higher. Every closed door became a divine redirection. Every no became proof that God had a better yes. Now they watch, silently jealous, pretending not to notice your glow. But deep down they know. They laughed at your tears, and now they envy your joy. Because what they mocked was never a breakdown, it was a breakthrough in progress. Chosen one, your tears were holy, your trials were training, and your joy, that unexplainable, radiant joy, is proof that God always finishes what He starts. Don't dim it to make them comfortable. Don't hide it to make them feel safe. Let your joy preach louder than your words. You are a living testimony that divine timing is real. That pain produces power. That laughter may mock for a moment, but joy always returns with interest. They whispered behind your back, thinking the quiet moments were empty, meaningless, powerless. They didn't see the invisible battles you were winning in your mind, the prayers you were sending up in the dead of night. They didn't hear the angels surrounding you, whispering victories no one else could witness. And now your silence is golden armor, impenetrable and untouchable. They can try to rattle you with noise, drama, or judgment, but the chosen one doesn't respond to chaos. You respond with peace, purpose, and unstoppable momentum. They laughed when doors slammed in your face, when opportunities vanished, when hope seemed thin. They thought your ambition was fragile, like glass that could shatter. But every failure was God's secret plan, arranging pieces they couldn't even imagine. And now, as you step into your purpose, they watch silently, envy burning behind forced smiles. They mocked your journey when it was hidden, but now they see the finished masterpiece. Your joy is unshakable because it comes from the source they never believed in. Every insult, every rumor, every betrayal they threw at you was like fuel for the fire inside your soul. They aimed to put you out, but each attempt only made your spirit shine brighter. They stare now, blinded by the glow that cannot be stolen. That laughter at your tears? It has returned to them, twisted, because the universe has a way of balancing what's done in darkness. And you, chosen one, are walking proof that divine light cannot be touched by human envy. They measured your life in moments of pain and scarcity. They marked your progress in inches while you measured it in faith. And now, as your joy spills over, your peace radiates, and your purpose ignites, they are left wondering how you got here. Every tear, every lonely night, every doubt, it all worked for your ascent. Your joy isn't temporary, it isn't borrowed, it isn't fake, it is eternal, anchored in God, and untouchable by their envy. The tables have turned. The mockers are silent, the manipulators are baffled, and the haters? They stare as you dance in your destiny, unafraid, unshaken, unstoppable. Your joy isn't just happiness, it's divine proof. Every struggle, every heartbreak, every betrayal they thought could break you has become your crown. Chosen one, they laughed at what they didn't understand, and now they envy the miracle they didn't see coming. You, chosen one, let your joy be your message. Let your peace be your declaration. Every tear you shed was a deposit into the treasure God has reserved for you. Every mocking voice, every judgment, every betrayal has amplified your destiny. You are not just surviving, you are thriving. You are not just walking, you are shining. You are not just existing, you are fulfilling a divine purpose that no enemy, no hater, and no circumstance can touch. They sent whispers, rumors, and half-truths into the world, hoping to make everyone doubt you. They tried to frame your journey as failure, weakness, or misfortune. But the chosen one knows this truth. Only God holds the pen to your life. Every setback, every betrayal, every night of solitude was meticulously placed by divine hands. And now, as you walk in joy that cannot be faked, every lie they told rebounds, powerless. They see your story unfold and realize they were never the narrators, and envy burns in their hearts because your life is living proof of destiny untouched by human malice. They assumed your quiet was submission, that your humility was ignorance, that your waiting was weakness. They didn't know you were listening to the universe, absorbing its guidance, building strength they could never understand. Every prayer whispered in the dark was a command being set into motion. Now, when you speak, when your joy, wisdom, and triumph are proclaimed, it echoes with power they cannot stop. Your voice is a reminder that chosen ones are never silent forever. We are strategic, patient, and unstoppable. The same people who mocked your stillness are now silenced by your resonance. Every betrayal they plotted, every door they slammed, every hand they withdrew from you became fuel for your breakthrough. They believed resilience could be broken, that spirit could be crushed. But you are chosen. Your persistence is divine. Your joy is the natural consequence of surviving storms they thought would drown you. And now they watch in awe, their envy clear, while you stride past every shadow of doubt, every whisper of mockery, and every attempt to derail your destiny. You are untouchable, unstoppable, and unshakable, a living miracle walking among the mundane. They laughed at mistakes, mocked failures, and pointed fingers at the you they wanted to see defeated. But chosen one, every mistake was a lesson, every failure a blueprint, every tear a seed. You have grown roots where they saw rot, built wings where they saw weakness, and now you soar in joy so pure, so powerful, so unshakable, they cannot comprehend it. Their envy isn't just emotional, it is spiritual, because they are witnessing what only divine alignment can create, a soul perfected by trials and anointed by God's own hand. They laughed when you grieved, they scoffed when you prayed, they mocked when you hoped, but they underestimated divine timing. Your joy was never meant to be fleeting, it was forged in nights of prayer, in hours of endurance, in moments when only God was watching. And now, their envy is a mirror reflecting their own lack of faith. You are living proof that tears aren't weakness, trials aren't punishment, and mockery isn't final. Your joy doesn't just survive, it thrives, it radiates, and it dominates. Chosen one, never forget this. Every eye that laughed, every voice that mocked, every hand that tried to push you down was an instrument in God's symphony, orchestrating your rise. The world doesn't understand the alchemy of tears turned into triumph, sorrow turned into joy, and trials turned into testimony. You are walking, breathing proof that divine protection is real, that faith is tangible, and that heaven always completes what it begins. They assumed that when you disappeared from their view, your story was over. They whispered, "They're done. They've failed." But chosen one, absence was never emptiness. It was preparation. It was the silent work of God aligning your steps, refining your spirit, and building a joy they could never manufacture. Now that you return, radiant, confident, unstoppable, they see the power they ignored. Your presence is proof that nothing they tried to erase can erase what God has written. Every glance at your triumph is a reminder. Their laughter was temporary, your joy eternal. They saw the surface, the small glimpses of your abilities, and immediately tried to snuff them out. "They'll never make it," they said. "They're too sensitive, too fragile, too hopeful." But chosen one, potential without divine direction is nothing. Your destiny was written long before their opinions existed. Every tear, every heartbreak, every lonely moment was training. And now, as you walk fully aligned with God's purpose, their envy turns to silence. They can see the power you were always meant to wield, but they will never understand how God alone orchestrated your rise. They laughed when you asked God for guidance, whispered when you spoke of miracles, and doubted when you claimed faith. But chosen one, every whispered prayer in the dark, every groan of your heart, every plea for strength was moving mountains behind the scenes. And now, the kingdom of your joy, peace, and victory stands tall. They can watch, envy, even fear, but they cannot undo the divine work your prayers accomplished. Your faith was never for them to understand. It was for heaven to respond. And respond it did. They thrived in darkness, in manipulation, in half-truths. They assumed your humility and silence meant weakness. But chosen one, every insult, every rumor, every attempt to dim you only intensified your brilliance. Your joy radiates in a way that reveals the emptiness in their hearts. Their envy isn't just emotional, it's spiritual. They cannot mimic it, they cannot steal it, and they cannot break it. Your light is unstoppable because it comes from a source they will never touch, God Himself. Every tear, every sorrow, every moment they dismissed as weakness was a deposit into a treasure only you could unlock. And now that treasure shines. Your joy is not borrowed, not temporary, not dependent on circumstance. It is eternal, indestructible, and unmistakably yours. They envied your rise because they never believed it was possible. But chosen one, what they laughed at, mocked, and underestimated is now the very thing they cannot stop, your unshakable, radiant, divine joy. Chosen one, do not hide it, do not apologize for it, do not dim it for comfort or acceptance. Your joy is proof that God always finishes what He starts. Your triumph is the result of tears that were never wasted, of trials that were never in vain, of faith that never faltered. You are living proof that the chosen cannot be broken, cannot be silenced, and cannot be ignored. Stand tall, walk boldly, shine eternally. They counted the years you seemed stuck. They mocked how long it was taking. They whispered, if God were with them, wouldn't it have happened already? But chosen one, what they called delay was actually design. Heaven was building capacity in you while they were rushing for applause. And now, in a moment, you are moving faster than they can comprehend. Your joy is proof that God doesn't just restore time, He multiplies it. Every year they laughed at you is now a harvest season. They can't stop. They said you were forgotten. They thought the silence meant rejection. They assumed the lack of applause meant failure. But chosen one, isolation was the cocoon where God transformed you. In hidden places, you gained vision. In quiet seasons, you gained power. In solitude, you gained clarity. And now, as you emerge, they see a version of you they can't recognize, because it's not who they mocked, it's who you were destined to be. Their envy now is the echo of their ignorance then. They whispered doubts into your relationships, tried to collapse your opportunities, and hoped your dreams would fall like sandcastles in a storm. But chosen one, storms don't destroy what's built on rock. Every attempt they made to shake you only proved how unshakable you are. And now, as your joy stands tall, unmovable, radiant, their envy rises like a tide. because they realize what they could never stop, the hand of God holding you steady. They mocked your compassion. They took advantage of your generosity. They thought empathy made you fragile. But chosen one, your kindness was never weakness. It was your secret weapon. It disarmed their plans, exposed their intentions, and built bridges where they burned them. And now, your joy radiates with a power they can't duplicate. Their envy comes from realizing they underestimated the heart that heaven protects. They mocked what they didn't understand. They sneered at what they thought was weakness. They thought your sorrow would make you bitter. Instead, it made you fertile. Every tear became a seed. Every heartbreak became a root. Every prayer became rain. And now, you are blooming in a season they cannot access. Your joy is a garden heaven planted, and their envy is proof they can see it but never touch it. Chosen one, this is your hour. This is your proof. This is your calling. Every time they mocked, every time they doubted, every time they tried to write you off, it was fuel. Heaven has taken the laughter of your enemies and turned it into a symphony of your victory. Your joy is the sound of promises fulfilled. Your life is the stage where God displays His power. Do not dim your light to make them comfortable. Do not hide your crown to make them feel safe. Stand, shine, declare, because your tears were never wasted. Your pain was never in vain, and your joy, it is eternal, indestructible, and undeniable. They whispered that your pain was proof of failure, that your setbacks meant you were forgotten. They assumed your journey was broken. But chosen one, every struggle was a divine marker, a signal that God was shaping you for something far greater than they could imagine. Every obstacle was a tool in heaven's hands, building strength, patience, and wisdom inside you. Now, as your joy radiates like sunlight piercing the clouds, they realize the very struggles they mocked have become the source of your unstoppable power. Their envy is a silent witness to God's handiwork. They doubted you would rise. They assumed your spirit would crack under pressure. They celebrated your failures as proof of weakness. But chosen one, resilience is not born from comfort, it is forged in fire. Every moment they tried to break you only tempered your spirit further. And now, your joy is a reflection of that unshakable resilience. They cannot imitate it, they cannot diminish it, and their envy is the echo of their own inability to endure what you have survived with grace and faith. They laughed at your prayers, scoffed at your hope, and judged your belief. They measured success in money, status, and influence. But chosen one, your foundation is eternal. Every tear you shed, every whisper of prayer in the quiet hours, every act of surrender to God has built a kingdom in your life that cannot be shaken by human hands. And now they watch in disbelief, envy burning in their hearts, as your faith manifests into blessings they could only dream of. They said you were lucky when doors opened, when opportunities came, when blessings overflowed. But chosen one, luck had nothing to do with it. Every tear you cried, every night of solitude, every battle with doubt was God's preparation. And now your joy shines as proof that destiny cannot be stolen, interrupted, or delayed. They may envy what they do not understand, but you know the truth. Your joy was written before they even tried to interfere. The ones who mocked you, who ridiculed your pain, who whispered against your future, they thought they had power over your spirit. But chosen one, every tear you shed has become a crown. Every heartbreak has been transformed into a throne. And now your joy is undeniable. They envy it because it is authentic, divine, unstoppable. They cannot fake it, they cannot steal it, and they will never extinguish it. Your triumph is heaven's declaration. Chosen ones are unbreakable, and divine joy always returns multiplied. Chosen one, this is your moment. This is your proof. This is your victory. Every tear, every heartbreak, every whispered prayer has been a step toward this joy, radiant, unshakable, unstoppable. Do not apologize for shining. Do not hide your crown. Do not dim your light. Stand tall, walk boldly, speak powerfully, shine relentlessly. They rushed, they pushed, they tried to force outcomes, assuming that your waiting meant hesitation or inability. But chosen one, every moment of patience was a strategic move orchestrated by heaven. While they acted in chaos, you were building precision, clarity, and divine alignment. Now, as you step forward in joy, Every door opens at the perfect time. Every blessing arrives in exact measure. Their envy rises because they cannot control what is guided by God, and they can't compete with patience forged in prayer, purpose, and power. They laughed at your dreams, ridiculed your goals, and whispered that you were too ambitious. But chosen one, your vision was never for their understanding. It was for God's timing, for your destiny, and for the lives you were meant to impact. Every detail they mocked is now illuminated by divine clarity. Your joy is the proof that a vision guided by God cannot fail. They envy it because they see the brilliance but cannot create it. They see the path but cannot walk it. They hoped your moments of fear and uncertainty would break you. They pointed at your struggles as evidence that you were weak, that you were falling behind. But chosen one, every doubt was a door to deeper understanding. Every fear was a test of alignment. And now, your joy radiates from faith that has been proven unshakable. Your triumph isn't just personal, it's divine testimony. And the envy in their eyes is the only acknowledgement they can offer of what God has done in you. They whispered behind your back, plotted against your expression, and assumed that your humility meant submission. But chosen one, humility never meant hiding. It meant listening, waiting, and preparing. And now, when you speak, your words move mountains. Your joy speaks without sound. Your triumph resonates without effort. They watch, envy burning, because your voice is unstoppable, unshakable, and undeniable. Every laugh at your tears becomes an echo in the presence of your victory. Every tear they mocked, every whisper of ridicule, every attempt to undermine you has been transformed by heaven into evidence of your divine purpose. Your joy is radiant, unstoppable, uncontainable. Chosen one, they cannot fake it. They cannot buy it. They cannot steal it. It is yours, anointed by God and untouchable by human envy. What they thought was weakness has become your most powerful weapon, proof that tears, trials, and tribulations are never wasted when God is on your side. Chosen one, do not hide your triumph. Do not apologize for your joy. Do not allow envy to intimidate you. Every tear you cried was sacred. Every sorrow you endured was transformational. Every moment of mockery was a step toward your divine crown. Your joy is more than happiness. It is victory, faith manifested, and proof that God always finishes what He starts. They whispered when the doors closed. They laughed when opportunities slipped. They thought you were defeated, broken, left behind. But chosen one, every setback was a setup for a greater return. Every closed door was a redirection toward your destiny. Every moment they rejoiced over your struggles only served to amplify the victory God had prepared for you. Now, as you rise with unstoppable joy, they stare in envy, powerless to stop what was always meant to be yours. Your comeback is not just personal, it is divine proof that heaven always restores. They dismissed your work, belittled your progress, and assumed your dreams were impossible. But chosen one, every step you took in faith was a seed planted in the unseen. And now, those seeds have grown into something spectacular, something undeniable, something that cannot be ignored. Their envy comes not from fear of failure, but from realizing your results are unstoppable, sacred, and beyond their control. Your joy is the reward, their mockery is the proof, and God's hand is the reason. They thrived on chaos. They craved control. They assumed that your struggles would create bitterness or confusion. But chosen one, your peace was forged in prayer, patience, and divine protection. While they plotted, gossiped, and manipulated, you stood in silence, knowing that true power flows from calm hearts aligned with heaven. Now, as your joy radiates, their envy is undeniable. They see serenity they can't manufacture, fulfillment they can't steal, and light that refuses to fade. Every time they laughed at your pain, every time they pointed at your sorrow, they failed to understand that tears are sacred. Every tear cleanses, transforms, and prepares a chosen one for greatness. What they thought was vulnerability was actually divine strength in motion. And now your joy is proof. Every tear you shed built resilience, every sorrow sculpted character, and every whispered prayer turned into victory. Their envy cannot touch what God has ordained for your life. This is the culmination, chosen one. Every mocking laugh, every doubt, Every betrayal they sent your way has been transformed into light, power, and joy that cannot be stolen. They watch in silence as your life overflows with blessings, radiance, and divine purpose. Every tear that was laughed at has become a crown. Every trial has become a throne. Every whispered prayer has become proof. Your joy is eternal, unstoppable, and undeniable. Chosen one, stand tall, speak boldly, shine with authority. Every moment of mockery, every tear, every struggle was never wasted. It was your preparation for this unstoppable joy. You are living proof that heaven never fails. You are a walking testimony that tears are transformed into triumph. You are the chosen one, and your joy is a declaration that cannot be ignored. They assumed your quiet moments meant surrender, that your humility was frailty. They whispered behind your back, "They'll never make it." But chosen one, strength is never loud. It grows in the hidden hours, in the silent prayers, in the battles fought when no one is watching. Every trial, every heartbreak, every tear you endured was forging unshakable power. Now your joy radiates as proof that true strength cannot be mocked, copied, or diminished. Their envy rises because they cannot comprehend how resilience built in silence becomes an unstoppable force. They laughed at small beginnings, mocked your humble starts, and assumed you'd never reach heights they had imagined for themselves. But chosen one, growth takes time, patience, and divine guidance. Every small victory, every quiet triumph, every lesson learned was adding layers to your destiny. And now your life stands taller than their ridicule, brighter than their envy, stronger than their doubts. What they laughed at is now a towering monument of God's faithfulness, and they cannot take it, touch it, or diminish it. They whispered that your dreams were impossible, that your goals were unrealistic, that your hope was foolish. But the chosen one, God never plants visions that cannot grow. Every whispered doubt, every mocking comment, every eye that rolled at your plans only accelerated the realization of your destiny. Now they witness your life unfolding exactly as God intended, and envy burns in their hearts. What they mocked is now undeniable. Your vision is tangible, radiant, unstoppable. They laughed when the doors closed. They doubted when setbacks appeared. They said, "It's too late." But chosen one, every ending they celebrated was a new beginning from heaven. Every moment of despair they witnessed was the prelude to your triumph. And now, as your joy and victories unfold, they see that what they thought was your final chapter was only the prologue to the greatest story of your life. Their envy is the shadow of your unstoppable rise. Chosen one, this is the crescendo. Every tear they mocked has been transformed into power. Every heartbreak has been transmuted into glory. Every whispered prayer has become a roar of triumph. Your joy is unstoppable, radiant, undeniable, and eternal. The envy of those who laughed is proof of your divine victory. They cannot take it, they cannot dim it, they cannot replicate it. And in your light, your peace, your joy, the world sees what only chosen ones know, that God always finishes what he begins. Chosen one, you are living proof that mockery cannot stop destiny, that tears are never wasted, and that God's plan is perfect. Every moment of laughter at your expense was a step toward the glory you now walk in. Stand tall, shine bright, speak boldly, walk with confidence. Every chosen one has a divine purpose, and your joy is your crown, your victory, your declaration to the world. They mocked your waiting, whispered about your delays, and assumed time was running against you. But chosen one, patience is not weakness, it is the secret of the chosen. Every season you endured, every unanswered prayer, every "not yet" was building a precision in your destiny. Now, as your joy bursts forth like sunlight after the storm, they see the power of a life aligned with heaven. Their envy rises because what took patience, prayer, and divine timing to achieve cannot be rushed, stolen, or replicated. They tried to exploit your generosity, took advantage of your compassion, and whispered, "They're too soft to survive." But chosen one, every act of kindness was armor. Every merciful word was a sword. Every gentle gesture was protected by God himself. And now, your joy radiates from a heart that cannot be touched by malice, cruelty, or envy. They see it, they envy it, and they realized too late that true strength often comes wrapped in compassion and love. They dismissed your prayers, doubted your trust in God, and whispered that hope was naive. But chosen one, every moment you surrendered, every whisper you offered in the dark, every act of faith was moving unseen forces in your favor. And now, your life bears the undeniable fruit of a faith that could not be broken. Their envy is proof of your victory, because what they mocked is now unshakable, radiant, and unstoppable. They cheered when you fell, laughed when you stumbled, and whispered that you would never recover. But chosen one, struggles are not chains. They are the soil where your triumph grows. Every trial has been transformed into testimony. Every heartbreak has been reshaped into strength. Every setback has become a stepping stone to glory. And now, your joy is the living proof that the chosen one rises, no matter how deep the valley, no matter how loud the mockery. Chosen one, this is the pinnacle. Every tear, every whispered prayer, every moment of loneliness has been transfigured into radiant, unstoppable joy. They cannot diminish it. They cannot control it. They cannot contain it. What they mocked was never weakness. It was preparation. What they ridiculed was never defeat. It was destiny. And now, your joy illuminates your path, inspires others, and stands as a declaration to the world. The chosen cannot be broken, mocked, or ignored. Chosen one, this is your crown. This is your throne. This is your divine victory. Every trial, every tear, every moment of mockery has led you here. Walk boldly, shine brightly, speak powerfully. Your joy is sacred, unstoppable, and eternal. Let no one convince you otherwise. Share this message with another chosen one who is being mocked, misunderstood, or overlooked. Comment, "My tears built my joy," to claim your victory and join a community of chosen ones rising together. Because chosen one, they laughed at your tears, and now your joy is their greatest envy. Chosen one, listen carefully, because this is the declaration that changes everything. Every tear you shed, every whispered prayer in the dark, every heartbreak and betrayal, it has all been a divine preparation for this moment. The laughter of those who mocked you has turned into the soundtrack of your victory. The envy of those who doubted you has become proof of your unstoppable rise. Your joy is no longer just a feeling. It is a force, a light, a crown, and a testimony that heaven never fails. You are living proof that what was meant to destroy you only refined you. What was meant to shame you only empowered you. What was meant to end your story only wrote a new chapter. A chapter filled with triumph, peace, abundance, and divine favor. Every step you take now echoes with purpose. Every word you speak resonates with power. Every smile you wear illuminates the path for others who have been mocked, ridiculed, or misunderstood. So stand tall, chosen one. Shine unapologetically. Speak boldly. Your joy is sacred. Your victories are undeniable. Your story is a masterpiece authored by God Himself. Let no one diminish it, and let no circumstance shake it. This is your divine moment, your breakthrough, your resurrection from the ashes of mockery and doubt. Share this message with others who are walking through trials. Comment, "My tears built my joy," to declare your victory and join the family of chosen ones rising together. Because the world must see, hear, and feel the glory of the chosen. Remember this always. They laughed at your tears, but now they envy your joy. Your story is unstoppable. Your joy is eternal. Your purpose is unshakable. You are the chosen one. Amen.